In writing, you must kill all your darlings. We must be free not because we claim freedom, but because we practice it. The past is always tense, the future perfect. A rose for Emily. An artist is a creature driven by demons. He doesn't know why they choose him, and he is usually too busy to wonder why. If you would write, try to be terse and in some measure original. Don't try to be too clever. Most writers spend their lives standing a little apart from the crowd, watching and listening and hoping to catch that tiny hint of despair, that sliver of malice, that makes them think, aha, here is the story. To be a successful father, there is one absolute rule: when you have a kid, don't look at it for the first 2 years. Perhaps they were right putting love into books. Perhaps it could not live anywhere else. There is no such thing as a clean escape. Why do writers write? Because it isn't there. I write to give myself strength. I write to be the characters that I am not. I write to explore all the things I'm afraid of. Hollywood is a place where a man can get stabbed in the back while climbing a ladder. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. To live anywhere in the world today and be against equality because of race or color is like living in Alaska and being against snow. No battle is ever won. They are not even fought. The field only reveals to man his own folly and despair, and victory is an illusion of philosophers and fools. A writer needs 3 things: experience, observation, and imagination, any 2 of which, at times, any one of which, can supply the lack of the others. Literature is the heart of humanity, the soul of the wit. I reckon I got to light out for the territory ahead of the rest, because Aunt Sally she's going to adopt me and civilize me, and I can't stand it. I'm inclined to reserve all judgments, a habit that has opened up many curious natures to me and also made me the victim of not a few veteran bores. A day spent without the sight or sound of beauty, the contemplation of mystery, or the search of truth or perfection is a poverty-stricken day, and a succession of such days is fatal to human life. Since man is mortal, the only immortality possible for him is to leave something behind him that is immortal, since it will always move. This is the artist's way of scribbling. Kilroy was here on the wall of the final and irrevocable oblivion through which he must someday pass. The saddest thing about love, Joe, is that not only the love cannot last forever, but even the heartbreak is soon forgotten. It's a shame that the only thing a man can do for 8 hours a day is work. He can't eat for 8 hours, he can't drink for 8 hours, he can't make love for 8 hours. The only thing a man can do for 8 hours is work. Read, read, read. Read everything: trash, classics, good and bad, and see how they do it. Just like a carpenter who works as an apprentice and studies the master. Read. You'll absorb it. Then write. If it's good, you'll find out. If it's not, throw it out of the window. There are 2 things in life that we can't help: being born and dying. The rest of it, we can change to suit our own purposes. Courage is endurance for 1 moment more. Civilization begins with distillation. In writing, You must kill all your darlings. Memory believes before knowing remembers. Believes longer than recollects, longer than knowing even wonders. Talking isn't doing. It is a kind of good deed to say well, and yet words are not deeds. If there is something to be changed in this world, then it can only happen through music. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. There are basically two types of people. People who accomplish things and people who claim to have accomplished things. The first group is less crowded. It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. The secret of success is making your vocation your vacation. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. When in doubt, tell the truth. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. The difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. Always tell the truth. That way, you don't have to remember what you said. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to than subdue your appetites, my dears, and you have conquered human nature. Every traveler has a home of his own, and he learns to appreciate it the more from his wandering. The one great principle of English law is to make business for itself. An idea, like a ghost, must be spoken to a little before it will explain itself. I do not know the American gentleman, God forgive me for putting to such words together. We forge the chains we wear in life. The age of chivalry is never past, so long as there is a wrong left unredressed on earth. There is a passion for hunting something deeply implanted in the human breast. There is a great deal of truth in what you say, Caroline, and I admire you for it. You speak as a woman of sense. Vanity working on a weak head produces every sort of mischief. My good opinion once lost, is lost forever. I cannot think well of a man who sports with any woman's feelings. We do not look in our great cities for our best morality. The greatest burden in life is the feeling of unfulfilled potential. Anything that can be done must always be done in the most honorable and respectful way possible. The most effective way to change the world is to change ourselves. The most important work is always the work of the heart. The greatest happiness is to know that we are loved. The success of every man depends on his own initiative and creativity. Everything in the world has a purpose and a meaning. True wisdom is only found through the experiences of life. The measure of a man's success is not how much money he makes, but how much he can give.